Hello everyone. Welcome to another knowledge sharing video from iTrack Solutions. In our series of 7 QC tools, in this video we are going to understand about stratification analysis. This word stratification analysis is an outcome of the word strata. What do we mean by strata? In a heterogeneous subgroups, or in other words, if we have a homogeneous entity, let's say we have students assembled in a conference hall in a university. There are 100 students assembled in a conference hall in a university. They all are students from third year BSc Mathematics. So if they all are from third year BSc Mathematics, then we can call them as a homogeneous group. Why do we call them homogeneous? Because they all come with same characteristics. But within this 100 students in the conference room, if I ask them, how many of you are from the same city? How many of you have come from some other city to this city for joining this course or doing this 3 years BSc Mathematics? If I ask this question, some students would say, I am from the same city, and some students would say, we came from some other city uh, to this city to complete this course. Then we'll go back to our city. So when I ask this question, this homogeneous group further get classified into two heterogeneous groups, people from the same city, people who migrated from other city for completing this course. So within the larger homogeneous group, based on some characteristics, we can identify heterogeneous subgroups. So these heterogeneous subgroups is what we call it as strata. So what is stratification analysis? Whenever there is a homogeneous data, we can identify opportunity to break that homogeneous data into heterogeneous subgroups. And as we break them, we call them strata. And any analysis on these strata is what we call it as stratification analysis. Now, to make it very simple, Joseph M. Juran, in his famous book, Quality Handbook, has mentioned stratification analysis will help us to identify root causes which contribute more to a particular problem or root causes which is worth of further investigation. So what we are going to see in this video is how the stratification analysis can be done. What are the three methods? One method is subdivision method. Another method is multi-perspective analysis. And the third one is repeat analysis. So let's understand how stratification analysis is done in these three ways. So for this, let me move to the Excel file. So here, let us take one scenario. The scenario is, let's say I work for a furniture shop. So in a city, there are a chain of furniture shops. I work as a general manager for all these furniture shops. And in our furniture shop, there is a policy of accepting customer to return the furniture. If they don't like it within 30 days, they can return and get their money refunded. So this is a policy that we follow. Now, in this analysis, what we are going to do is we are going to understand how stratification can be applied in this scenario. So the first level of data that I received from my shop managers, as I am a general manager, shop managers report to me. And here, if you see, I have got the data for January, and how this data was given to me, it is given to me day by day, chronological order. Chronology is any data which is collected in a with respect to time. With respect to time, if any data get collected, we call it data collected in a chronological order. In this case, you see data collected day wise for the month of January. So if I get a data like this, what I can do? At max, I can summarize this data. What I have summarized here, I have summarized the total number of returns I received for this month. How many? 120. Can I do anything more with this? No. So what I'm going to ask my shop managers is, along with this, can you also give me a breakup of from which shop I received this return items? So now if you see what they have done, they have broken down this data, or they have created another column, and in that column they have captured the shop number, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to now uh, I can use a pivot table, or if we use this sum if formula, I can identify how many items got returned from each of this shop. So the sum if formula works like this. I need to select the range, then I need to mention what is the condition, then I need to say what is my sum range. So if I apply this formula, I'll be able to find out shop wise, what is a breakup? So here I have already sorted this data. If you see here, I have already sorted this. And we have seen during our previous video about Pareto chart, if there are multiple parameters contributing for a outcome, not all of them are going to equally contribute. Some of them will contribute vitally, some of them will contribute trivially. So if I want to apply a Pareto chart here, I can do it in Excel also, right? So contribution percentage, cumulative contribution percentage. So the contribution of this particular shop on the overall returns is how much? It is 50%. If I copy and paste this, sorry, need to freeze this cell. Right. And now if I want to know the cumulative contribution, so shop 6 contribute to 50%, shop 6 and 1 together contribute to 77. And if I copy and paste this, I get the cumulative contribution. If the last cell reads 100, then my calculation is correct. Then what I do, I can draw a Pareto here. So when I draw a Pareto, so I'm using an old version of Excel. The latest version of Excel, you can directly draw the Pareto, but in this version, I need to change the secondary axis. So let me give a new axis. So I need to change the axis to 0 to 100. And change this bar chart to a line chart. I can add data labels. Here also I can add a data label. And whenever you draw a Pareto chart, you have to make sure that this axis, the maximum value should be for the total number of items for which we are doing analysis. And in our case, it is 120. Right. So now what I can do, I'll be in a position to understand who is the top contributor. So shop 6 is contributing to 50% of my returns. So this is the first level of subdivision that I have done. Okay. So shall I stop here? No, I'll not be able to control the returns of shop 6 until unless I know why the or what kind of furnitures are getting returned. Right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask my shop 6 manager, or not only shop 6 manager, but all the managers to add one more column to their data collection sheet. And that is, when an item get returned, please also capture what item get returned. Is it a chair? Is it a, a lamp or a couch or a bed? What is getting returned? So that is the next column that I requested them to add. And at this point of time, I would like to recollect an information that we have discussed in one of our previous videos, that is about adding identifiers during your data collection sheet preparation. In this particular example, my metric under discussion is number of returns. So I could have only collected number of returns like how I have done in this case. But if I have done that, then I'll not be able to do further analysis. The possibility of analysis only happens provided I collect enough identifiers so that I can do further drill down. So in this case, I've identified shop 6 is my top contributor. So within shop 6, which kind of chair is getting returned often? So if I want to know that, so I need to now break down this Pareto chart. So the Pareto chart that I see here, so if I copy and paste this Pareto chart here, now I need to break down this bar which is showing us 50% contributor. So now this bar need to be further broken down, and now and then only I'll be able to know what exactly is the problem. So for me to break this down, what I need to do, this 60 items, I need to have the second level analysis. And that is what kind of furniture. Again, I'm going to use the same SUMIF function here. This is my range. This is the type of furniture. I put a comma, and this is my sum range. So here I have 60 items, and those 60 items got broken down in terms of, or further, we got the information about which furniture is contributing how much. So what we will do again is we will do a Pareto now. We will use the same formula, right? So the total number of items is 60. So we're going to calculate contribution and cumulative contribution like how we have done in the previous case. Same formula, 30 items, contribution on 60 items. For this, we are going to freeze the cell. So this is cumulative contribution. Now again, I'm going to draw a Pareto here. So this is the second level, the level 2 breakdown that I have done. So we have broken down the first bar of this and drawn our second level Pareto here. And this second level Pareto, again, we will make the same changes that we have already done. So we will create a secondary axis. And we'll convert that into a line graph. We'll add data label to it. Adjust this axis to 100%, 0 to 100. And adjust this axis to 0 to 60. Why 60? Because whenever we do a Pareto chart, the maximum value should be the total number of items for which we are doing this analysis. So 60. So that is when this bar can start, or this line can start from the top of the first bar. So we add data label. So now what we understand is chairs contribute to 60% of, sorry, chairs contribute to 50% of total returns, which is happening in shop 6. So identify shop 6 is a problem. Then I identified chairs in shop 6 is a problem. So can we stop here? No, we can go one more level. And in this, what we are doing, what kind of chairs are getting returned? So here again, I have collected data for shop 6 chairs alone. What kind of chairs are getting returned? Again, I can do a sum if. So this is my range. This is my condition. And this is the sum of items that I want. And now if you see here, out of 30 items, 21 items are dining table chairs. So I have reached this level. If you want to add maybe one more level of analysis, you can identify which brand of items getting returned or what is the reason for the item to get returned. So you can go further. So I have gone from level 1 to level 4. You can go further. And here, if you can, what you can do is you can do one more Pareto. So I will copy paste these two Paretos here. Right. Let me copy paste it here. What we can do is we can do a one more level of Pareto. For that, let me copy paste the contribution and cumulative contribution headers. So dining table chairs, out of all the chairs, dining table chairs contribute to almost 70% of my total returns. So I can freeze the cell here. So dining table chairs alone contribute to 70%. Dining table and study room together contribute to 77. As I copy paste this in the last column, I will get my 100%. Now I go to insert and I make a Pareto chart here. And this Pareto chart is the level 3 Pareto. So we have done a level 1 Pareto on the shop. We have done a second level Pareto on the type of furniture. We have done a third level Pareto on within the type of furniture, what is the usage of it, right? So these are the information that we have taken already. I think this data can be further sorted. It is not sorted. Let me sort it. It's sorted now. So let me make the secondary axis. Let me adjust the scale of my axis to 0 to 100. Let me change the chart type. So here, as I told, we have broken down this analysis from level 1 Pareto, which is at shop level, level 2 Pareto, which is in the top contributing shop, which is the top contributing type of furniture. And from there, we have further broken down to in that chair, what is the usage, which usage, dining room chair is the top contributor. So this is what we call it as subdivision analysis. Now we will move to the next type of stratification analysis, which is multi-perspective analysis. Now I have requested my shop managers to give me the value of furniture along with the uh, count of furniture. I've also asked them to give me the value of furniture. Why? Because as a manager, I am concerned about items getting returned. Count is also a concern, but more than count, I am concerned about the value of item that is getting returned. So the same problem, which is return of furnitures, can be analyzed from a count perspective, can also be analyzed from a dollar value perspective or the rupee perspective, depending upon what currency we are doing this analysis. So in this case, I have collected data in Indian rupee for each furniture. So what I'm going to do is the same data that you see here, I'm going to analyze this data in terms of its dollar value. So I'm going to apply the sum if function. I'm going to put a comma, select this value, put a comma, and then my sum range is going to be the value in INR. So now if you see, we see a completely different picture. 30 chairs together contribute to 26,500 rupees. However, 8 fine dining sets contribute to 49,000. So if we want to understand about multi-perspective analysis, what we can understand is we can understand the contribution in terms of count and the contribution in terms of the dollar value. So if you see here, this is the total count of items. This is the total dollar value of items. How much each of this contributes? So from a count perspective, we already know chair is the top contributor. Chair is the top contributor. But from a dollar value or from the INR, so in this case, it's in INR. So from the value of the item that is getting returned, the story can be different. So now if you see, so this is how the color coding would have been before. Sorry, let me change it. Right, this is how the color coding would have been before. But now if you see this, so this is the top contributor followed by this, followed by this, if you want to take count into perspective. However, if you want to take dollar value into perspective, it will be first the fine dining set, then chairs, and then comes your couches. So a same problem can be analyzed from multiple perspectives. Here we have taken two perspectives. One is the count of item getting returned. Another one is the dollar value of item getting returned. So similarly, in your analysis, you can have more than one perspective and analyze the same problem from different perspectives. So recently in one of the analysis that we have done for a e-commerce company, the count of items, dollar value of items, and also we did an analysis in terms of how far that item need to be picked up from the customer place. So the distance from which it need to be picked up. So that was another perspective in which the analysis was done. So there are multiple perspectives for the same analysis. And finally, repeat analysis. Can I conclude that yes, it is the fine dining set which is the problem? So let me go ahead and uh, work on fine dining set. No, you cannot directly conclude. So that's where you need to understand the repeat analysis. Repeat analysis is here I have taken data for January and I have taken data for February. So the January total number of items that is getting returned is 60. And for February, the total number of items that is getting returned is 59, almost the same, right? Now, how much is the dollar value? It is 84,500. The total items that got returned is 84,500. However, in February, for the same number of items, the dollar value is significantly low. We'll understand why it is significantly low. Again, we will try and calculate the contribution percentage. So here it is 30 divided by 60. And here it will be the value divided by the overall value. You can put a dollar percentage symbol here. And like how we have seen in the past, I apply the condition formatting to see the top contributor. So the top contributor is chair, couches, fine dining set. However, from a value perspective, the top contributor is fine dining set. Okay, let me apply the same formula here. So if you see here, fine dining set, which was actually the top contributor in terms of the value in the month of January, has now become the third contributor, not the top contributor. So before we finalize on any particular root cause and start taking action, we need to perform the same analysis for 2 or 3 different time periods to understand whether this root cause is consistently is the top contributor, or this root cause is appearing in only one of the time periods. In another time period, there is a different reason coming up. So all these will tell you different things about the underlying process. If the same root cause is coming again and again, then it is a uh, cause which can be validated and we can take action. But if there is a root cause which is coming up in your Pareto chart as a top contributor in January, not coming up in February, then it could be also be a special cause. It could be a one-time, impact on the number of returns. So friends, let me quickly summarize one more time. So in our analysis stratification, we are trying to break down, or we are trying to go deeper and deeper using the subdivision analysis, collecting more and more identifiers and trying to drill down and identify the root cause. So that is the subdivision analysis. In multi-perspective analysis, we are trying to collect data from multiple perspectives. So here returns can be analyzed in terms of count, can also be analyzed in terms of its value. So that is multi-perspective analysis. And repeat analysis is any analysis that you do it for different time periods. Don't come to a conclusion based on one time period, but you can repeat the same analysis for 2 different consecutive months, or 2 different consecutive weeks, or 2 different consecutive quarters, or 4 quarters, last 4 quarters, last 3 quarters, last 3 months. You can perform the same analysis for different time period and then validate whether the root cause is the top contributing root cause on all the time period. So friends, thanks for your time. So in this video, we have understood how stratification analysis works. So in our future videos, we'll also cover the remaining 7 QC tools. Thanks for your time.